First, I want to apologize. We took a little bit of a break, but we're back.
A little bit of a
We're
break.
trekking the future with
Yes,
Joshua Hadley and Lord Justin Belanger of the Principality of Sealand.
that one's me. Hi. Yes. Yeah. We had to. We couldn't do the episodes the last 2 Saturdays, but we're doing something a little different here. So this is our first episode on a Monday. Um,
Yeah.
I have stuff that I can bring up in the Gopher and Tuck updates section here as to what I'm doing Sunday mornings. But yeah, we're doing an episode on Monday. We'll be doing another episode tomorrow. So this episode will be covering
Tomorrow.
last week's episode of Strange New Worlds, and then tomorrow's episode will be covering this past week's episode. And then we'll be back on Saturdays, and we'll be all normal again, and we'll be up to date, caught up, and what have you with Strange New Worlds. And of course, we're also reading the Lower Decks comics and all the good stuff.
Doing some D&D and talking some philosophy, though I don't know how. Our discussion will be philosophical. Sure. We're gonna look at what is Starfleet, as Justin mentioned from a while back. That episode of Strange New Worlds. The new Star Trek series. I'll just take a minute to explain. Since we do introductions at the start of
Yeah.
the show. My dad, he got his voice box removed, and he's been having some leakage. So he's been gone since the weekend before the 4th of July. The end of noon, he left up Kotzebue and he went down to Seattle.
Yeah.
And I just my parent, he was asking me to come down, and my mom was, and I went down. We didn't say anything. Well, actually, the last episode, I didn't know I was gonna go down. I didn't know till 2 days before I went, and I left. I don't even remember if it was that Friday or that Saturday. No, it was. I remember I left Friday because I thought maybe we could do the show, but
yeah, he was thinking maybe.
I thought my dad was like at the hospital and I could be in a room by myself and do it. But no, we were both at the hotel. He had a TV going. I had nowhere private to go, and I wasn't just gonna go outside where people could just walk up upon me or whatever. And yeah, it's just and of course that happened all that happened very last minute. So we weren't. It wasn't something I thought was gonna happen by the last episode. So
and you came back. You came back this past Saturday night, so it was too late in the day for that. For the podcast that day. So we're getting caught up now today and tomorrow. We got our first ever back-to-back days of getting this podcast. So right back into it.
Right back. And this. So we're not talking about last week's episode. The week before we're doing was what is Starfleet? And
what is Starfleet?
Justin, what is Starfleet? Is that like
Good question.
Is that a video game or
probably?
Did Atari make it?
It might be an Atari game. So this is an episode we've kind of been teased a little bit for this one. It was a documentary kind of deal, or it's like a documentary about Starfleet. We've seen it being kind of filmed in the background of some of the previous episodes. So something they were. So I went into this expecting kind of like a more lighthearted, comedic kind of episode, based on like what we've seen earlier in the season from the thing. It ended up being. It started off that way, and then kind of started to become more serious and very emotional. It got really emotional. Apparently people didn't like this episode too much. The IMDb score up there is, I think, was at 6.3 out of 10. I've seen people talking about it on Reddit, just did not like it. Personally, for me, it was, I would say, my favorite episode of the season and one of my favorite episodes of the show so far. I liked it a lot. I was very invested, like fully locked in on it. I don't know. It just
Well,
there's been a few episodes this season where it seems like there's a pretty big disconnect from what general fans of the show think, and then what I think. Because there's been a few that I really like that other people just weren't that into, and this was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I decided to check out the competition trick culture, and there was I watched 40 minutes of it before we did this show here,
Yeah,
and um, there seems to be some things where there, I think, issues with how things were done in Star Trek before, and we've explained before, but on this episode, so I might as well say again, Justin and I aren't like, well, I'm become a big Star Trek fan, but we didn't go into this show
yeah,
having watched much Star Trek.
yeah. So
I,
far, all I've seen of Star Trek are the episodes of Strange New Worlds we've seen, and I watched the Star Trek 2009 movie, but that was when it came out, and I barely remember it. And we watched the very first motion picture. That was our season 1 finale of this podcast. That's all I've seen so far.
and I have to disagree with the guy for trekking the trek trek culture.
Trek culture. Not,
He
not
made
Trek
a
in the
point
future.
like,
You don't want to disagree with those guys.
not those guys. Those guys are geniuses. But he made the point like it's a found footage. Like no, it's like he was like it's a documentary
Yeah.
that we're seeing, and like he mentioned that it looks so clean and that it doesn't look like guerrilla filmmaking. But I was just thinking while listening to him, like this is several hundred years into the future,
Yeah.
more than
I've seen documentaries that look that crisp in real life, like actual real documentaries. And this is a documentary that's taking place way ahead of our time with insane technology and everything. Like, of course, it's gonna look crisp. It's not gonna look like some guy holding a camera. Like he has drones. Like we see a little drone every now and then in the thing. That's one of the things recording. And yeah, of course, it's gonna be like
Yeah,
high tech.
And yeah, I want to disagree with them there. Like it should look high tech.
Yeah.
Like it's what I appreciate about Star Trek. Star Wars seems to try and balance like trying to look like the original trilogy will still make like moving on, going to the past, like obviously Strange New World takes place before the original series,
Yeah.
or but you know instead of like trying to make the show look like it's made like the set's made out of cardboard, it's way higher production
Yeah.
than the original
Yeah.
series.
One thing I
And
wanted to bring up was just how good that what is the creature called in this episode?
I forget. Oh, and he mentioned that
It's
too.
like a Karu or something like that. I don't remember the exact
Yeah.
name, but that looked like it looked really good. That
Yeah,
was a really good look. It reminded me a lot of the Moonlight Butterfly from Dark Souls, which has me wanting to replay Dark Souls for the 100th time.
Yeah.
So I might do that. But yeah, like that thing looked really cool. And
Oh,
just
yeah.
like very well done, like well made. Like it didn't look like cheap CGI or anything. Like it looked really good.
There was a couple of weird things in the episode, like Erica's brother.
He's the one
Try-
that was doing the documentary, like filming it. And
Yeah, yeah, him trying to convince or get Uhura to talk about wanting to disobey Starfleet, but I don't think and he wasn't reprimanded, but um, things happen. Like I could take like something that could like could be like there could be you know leaks or whatever like that. Um,
Right.
it wasn't quite perfect. Like as I say, like I really enjoy this episode as like part of it. The guy and Trek culture said it looked too clean. I felt like the part where Erica's brother's on the bridge with his drone, and where they get hit by the butterfly looking alien
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It's sort of like a look there. It looked like a lost or a found footage, sort of like
yeah. It was like kind of glitching
film.
out a little bit and all that. Like the technology was messing up from the thing attacking, whatever it's called.
Before I left to Seattle, Kitty and I watched 8 hours of backrooms videos. Yeah, watching the AI generated slop, unfortunately, and that did like watching this did remind me of that, and um yeah, it sort of gives you a sense like someone's there filming it, and um we talked a lot about this before, but I got the feeling like, oh wow, like this, like it almost felt like a horror film for a second there with
Yeah.
all the
It kind of reminded
alarms
me
going
of
off.
like in Cloverfield, which is also a found footage style thing. Like there was parts of that where like the camera starts glitching from crazy stuff happening. Kind of remind me of
Oh
that.
yeah,
And I love Cloverfield.
yeah, yeah, and that moment like really like oh it's like like I don't know if I'd say give me chills, but like I felt like oh this is becoming like a
Yeah.
horror episode.
Yeah.
Not really, but that moment did feel like it was scary.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know why people didn't like this.
Mm.
Maybe
I also
um,
thought
they don't like the gimmicky episodes. Yeah,
yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite things about this series is how they do those kind of episodes and they kind of take chances with that. Um, the performances were really good. That's another thing with this episode. There were some really good performances, especially from Uhura. Like when she finds out that her friend died in one of the previous things, like just her like facial reactions and like little things she did there, really good. Um, it was definitely a very emotional episode towards the end. We had the creature itself. She like communicates with Uhura telepathically. Like they set up a thing for that after Spock attempted it and he ended up in a coma. Um, and like we find out that this creature, like, it's being forced to be a weapon essentially, and it doesn't want that, and it wants to die because that's the only way out of being a weapon. So they kind of help set it up so that it can just fly into the sun. And
yeah,
that moment, like when it actually does that, and you see the reaction from all the crew and everything, really emotional stuff.
very emotional stuff, and I really I enjoyed the episode. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Uh, I don't know. I might like it more or whatever later. Yeah, and I do enjoy the gimmicky episodes, like
Yeah,
when Leon ends up in the holodeck, and it
yeah.
was really
You
interesting
got the
to see
musical, you got
um,
the who
the
done it.
musical, which also wasn't very well liked.
Yeah, see, and that's
So,
one we both really liked. So yeah, I think we just like these more gimmicky episodes a lot more. Which it feels weird to me that other people don't, because again, that's like one of the big things with this show is that they do these kind of episodes.
I think it might be more of older Star Trek fans
Yeah.
not liking what's going on with this different sort of show. Which like I
Which
can get that.
yeah,
But
I mean, we're not, old Star Trek fans. We're very much new Star Trek
yeah,
fans, but you know, yeah, for us,
well,
I don't know. We really like these kind of episodes.
absolutely, and I recommend it. I don't
Yes.
care what Gopher says. I'm sorry. I'm joking. He loved it too.
Like I recommend it.
Yeah,
I don't care what the guy who liked it even more than me says.
absolutely. Well, with that slip up, I feel like I need some caffeine.
Yeah, there you go.
I got this week some Dubby and Dragonade on. Well, got a little packet here.
Yeah, little packet of Dragonade. Look at that.
Yeah, they recommend suggested use as a dietary supplement. Take one packet with 8 to 12 ounces of water. New users may want to assess tolerance with half a packet. I do plenty of caffeine. I drank a rock star one time. I've been a degenerate.
What did I just? I
So
watched something. recently. I can't remember what it was, but like rocks. Red Bull gets brought up, and like
Oh
someone ends
yeah.
up in the hospital, and
Um, well, if I end up in the hospital right here, maybe you don't want to get that.
oh, it was a season 9 episode of Family Guy. That's what it was.
Ah.
Yeah. Peter gets addicted to
Yeah. See.
Red Bull and then tries making his own like homemade energy drink, and it does not go well for him.
Yeah. Mine. Um. Let's see. Let me mix this drink here, and I do have a point to that.
We have a warning here with Dubby. If you drink 20 packets of it or whatever per day, that could be an issue. But
Yeah. I think
1 or 2
based
servings per
on
day,
your
not too bad.
based on your body and your weight,
Yeah.
really impacts how much caffeine you could take. There was that story. I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago, where a guy in, I think it was New York State, he went to a lemonade stand, and
Yeah.
on his way to this park that he got what to this stand that he had coffee, whatever. So he had a lot of caffeine,
Yeah.
and it wasn't advertised on this.
Oh, that was
At this
if it's the one I'm thinking of, it was like I don't know if it was Starbucks or something. It was like one. It was like there's a restaurant
oh,
chain, a big chain that had this like caffeinated lemonade. And I guess it
yeah,
wasn't properly advertised just how much caffeine was in it. So the guy who was already had a bunch of caffeine had one of those and didn't go well for him.
yeah. So W, they recommend two W's, 2 servings of W a day, and that's what I've been sticking to.
Let's see, I'm trying to see if I can find what
And
place that
it's too
was.
bad because this tastes so great.
Dubby,
You know.
it does taste great. Also, a quick little, random aside here because you mentioned people's weight. I am back to trying to lose weight after I, lost 85 pounds a couple years ago in 9 months, and then I proceeded to gain all of it back and then some. Back to trying to lose, and today it marks 4 weeks of my new diet. I'm down 12.6 pounds so far.
Hell
First
yeah.
4 weeks.
Hell yeah, dude.
You might be getting skinny Gopher again before some amount of time. So there you go. Also, it was
If you want to
Panera.
see, if you want to see fat gopher, we'll give you some information later. But
Yeah, Panera
check
bread.
out
That was
W. Link in the
Panera.
description below.
Mm.
Save 10%.
Panera
on your
bread
order.
was the company with the charged lemonade that caused the issue.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Starbucks, but
I knew it was like one of those kind of deals. But yeah, so there you go. Drink Dubby. It is good.
so this is good.
There you go.
I
10%
I
off.
like the
Click that
Dragon
link.
Age. Oh yeah, and if you're on Twitch, check out this link here.
Yeah, and if you're on YouTube, the link's in the description. Click it automatically applies the promo code GopherTuck. You get 10% off. Bada boom.
Bada bing. A question I wanted to ask really quick is
Yeah,
who's your favorite character in Strange New
Spock.
Worlds so far?
Spock easily. I mean, there's a lot of great characters. I really like a lot, like most of the cast. I don't think there's any character I really dislike. I like a lot of the cast. They're all great. But yeah, Spock. Spock's been my favorite. Like he's one of the characters I knew of beforehand, but also just I really like him on the show.
I mentioned this before on the podcast, and it's still true. My number one song on my on repeat playlist on Spotify is "How Would That Feel," the song Leon sings in the musical episode. Was it Starship Rhapsody or Spaceship Rhapsody?
It's something with Rhapsody like that. Yeah.
Subspace Rhapsody.
Subspace Rhapsody. That's the
Yeah.
that's the deal.
Yeah, I've been thinking about her a lot, and it's funny that your favorite character is Spock and mine's Leon, because they've gotten into a relationship this season,
Yeah.
and it was really cute to see Spock hand Leon a coffee while they're in one of the meetings on this episode.
Also, I saw the first couple minutes of next week's episode, just to get that because it automatic. When I was watching the episode, I was on my walking pad over there, and part of my weight losing here. So I watched the episode while I was walking, and then it kind of autoplayed the next episode. So I saw the first few minutes, and we got a little bit of stuff regarding that relationship going on there to look forward to tomorrow.
It's exciting. Um. Anyway, we were also talking about the Lower Decks comic,
Yes,
and
we are.
yeah, I didn't think I'd watch any Star Trek outside doing the show with Justin, but I ended up becoming so interested. I ended up watching uh, Lower Decks with Kitty, and this seems to have happened after the end of season three. Yeah, the end of season three, because I noticed reading the comic that all our characters are lieutenants, which happens
Mm.
at the end of season three before they're ensigns.
Mm. Yes.
They all get a promotion, and Mariner,
Hell yeah.
not a big fan of it, but hey, it happened and she deserved it. So she will be a
There you go.
lieutenant.
This was a very fun one. The last episode, the last comic had ended with them transporting themselves accidentally onto the Titanic, which
Yeah.
none of them are familiar with it. One of them at the beginning of this one thought they knew what the Titanic was, but they were thinking of a different ship. So they thought, okay, well, this one's probably fine. So, but then they end up catching up with the rest of the what's her face's mom and all them,
Yeah,
and
Mariner's
they finally let them in on exactly what's happening, and as it turns out, they're chasing someone who's trying to mess up time and all that, and so they devise a plan, try to catch him. The aforementioned what's her face is like, hey, we know how time travel works. We know the tropes. We know what happens. Why don't we not do the things that keep happening that everyone knows how to counter, and then try something different? That was,
yeah.
and sure enough, it worked out. They caught the perpetrator, who we end up finding out was that same aforementioned character, whose name I keep blanking on. Um, hmm. It's her from a different reality where pretty much all the crew had died, and so she started off trying to save them. Didn't work, so she kind of just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna mess with everything, and you know.
Let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice and see what happens.
And so saying all this, you think like, oh damn, so this comic kind of got a little emotional. No, no, it was still, they just kept the comedy going throughout, which I really enjoyed. Um, I also like that this is like the only Star Trek thing I've seen so far that I wouldn't say vulgar, but like,
Oh, swear.
yeah, I mean the cat's constantly the
Yeah,
cat's
the cat.
swearing gets censored, but then someone I think said dick earlier in the episode or in the comic, and that didn't get censored. So
Well, I mean, come on. Dick Nixon was our president,
okay,
so
well, you're right. Yes, I don't know. It's just I really like the humor in this comic. I assume I'm gonna really like the show when we finally get around to that. Uh,
absolutely.
it's fun. It's a fun time. And I like
And
Jack
we've been-
Quaid, who voices one of the characters in the show.
all love the Jack Quaid. Yeah, this was. I really enjoy this comic. I I just wanted to mention when I was down in Seattle, I met up with my aunt, and we went down to Pike's place, and um, not Pike, the Pike Marketplace.
Yeah.
I'm quite, where they got the original Starbucks, and she asked where do I want to go, and one of the places was I want to check out a comic book store. So I got two Psylocke books. That's my favorite X-Men character.
I do like using her in Marvel Rivals.
Hell yeah,
My number
and
2
I
character in
remember
that behind Luna Snow.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, and I really enjoy this comic. It really does feel like an episode of Lower Decks. Obviously, this is more than just what was. It's an ongoing thing, storyline in the comic. So, that I think the episodes of Lower Decks mostly, and just like the Strange New Worlds series, like the episodes sort of stand on their own with some ongoing
Yeah.
storylines. The
Yeah.
comic, like they mentioned too, they made a joke of well, where Captain Freeman is gonna explain what's going on to Beckett in the comic, sort of makes a joke like, "Well, thankfully you read last week's or last month's issue, so that so you sort of get the gist of what's going on." But they do explain like more detail of like what's
Yeah.
going on, as
Yeah.
Justin mentioned. But
I
I
also
did think that
really,
was
I also really like the little thing they have at the bottom of most pages where it's like the author leaving their thing, but it's also kind of like in character. Like it's not meant to be the author in real life. It's more like an author in this universe.
yeah.
Stories. That's fun. Um, so I saw recently you shared a thing. I don't know if it was for the comics or for the show, but didn't this like win some award or something?
Oh, it was for both. Yeah, the Hugo Award. Lower Decks as an entity, like both
Okay,
the
so
TV
both.
series and the comics, get
Hell
the
yeah,
Hugo.
hell yeah. Like to say that.
And, and since you mentioned that, what is the Hugo Awards? I just want to see because
I
oh,
really liked the film Hugo, which was a very
yeah,
surprising film to get out of Martin Scorsese. But yeah,
yeah, I actually put in Hugo and I enjoy that film too, and I went to that. So yeah, it's a annual literally literary literary award. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at English for best science fiction or fantasy works. Oh, awesome!
yeah, oh yeah.
So let me see
Congratulations.
who. I just want to see who won the last couple of years. If I can get that. I don't like. Let's see. I'm trying to find like they don't have like I'm not seeing a list of winners, but there's different categories like best novel, best comic,
Mm.
best fan
So
artist.
which category did this one win?
I'm not sure. I just saw that one awards. Like I didn't know there was so. See, this is how ignorant I was. Am of the Hugo Awards. I didn't know there were so
Let's
many.
see. Let's see, I'm looking at trying to find what it is
You know,
here.
yeah. I'm just gonna look up Hugo Awards lower decks. So it must have won multiple categories if it got both the TV show
It
and the.
did win best graphic story or comic.
Okay, so the comic we won or won in the. Oh, so all right. So this is an AI. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Star Trek Lower Decks has made history by winning 2 Hugo Awards in 2025. So it won 2 awards. I thought it was just one award. So obviously ignorant, as I said. Yeah, animated series finale, the new Next Generation won for best dramatic presentation, short form, the 30-minute episodes. In the graphic novel Star Trek Lower Decks Warp Your Own Way, written by Ryan North, who's doing the series, illustrated by Chris Fen Fenagoli- Fanagolio, won for best graphic story or comic. And this marks the first time in over 30 years that the Star Trek franchise has won a Hugo Award, making this a significant achievement for both the series and the franchise.
Mm,
Oh, that's awesome!
yeah.
So they haven't won an award since the Next Generation.
So
That's
wait.
a pretty big.
So what? So you said short form means what exactly? Like less than 30 minutes?
I just mentioned that
Because
short form. I think they're talking about TV shows and stuff like
okay,
that.
so it can go longer ones. Because I'm looking at a list. I see the list of Hugo Award winners for best presentation, best dramatic presentation, short form. Um, and I see there were 2 Game of Thrones episodes that managed to get this back in 2013 and 2014.
Ah,
Mm.
yeah, I did well look at past winners.
There's a Battlestar Galactica episode from 2005. Got it.
my favorite TV show ever, The Twilight Zone, won this several times.
Mm. Doctor Who has quite a few wins.
Wow.
A bunch of them. They
And
like dominant. They're like the Zack Sabre Jr. winning that uh, one technical wrestling award like every year for the last 6 years or
the
whatever.
Brian Danielson Award.
Yeah. Doctor Who had a
Even
run like
about
that.
Brian Danielson.
From 2006 to 2012, they won the award every year except for 2009, where it went to Dr. Horrible's Sing Along blog.
That's well, it's awesome that Star Trek finally, once again, won the awards, and Lower Decks is great. Um, Looking forward to doing it on this podcast. And
Oh, so
I
it
we are
actually, if what I'm saying here is correct, it actually wasn't Lower Decks that won the dramatic presentation. It
it
was
wasn't.
Lower Decks won the comic one. It was the new Next Generation.
Oh, that's the name of the episode.
Oh, okay, okay. Because they don't show the name of the episode for any of the other ones.
Season
They
finale.
just show like the show. They show like Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, Doctor Who. So I thought that was the name of the
Yeah.
thing. So there you go. It was in fact the Lower Decks getting both forms of media wins.
And I imagine this has to be a big win for the people, all the people who do the writing, do the illustrating, do the animation,
Mm.
like making sure that they all have their pillows are fluffed. Oh, the point I'm making here is today is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, happy
Labor Day in
Labor
America.
Day.
I mean, we all know like May Day is the real Labor Day, but I
Mm.
I told someone the former youth representative on Kotzebue City Council, Phineas Sweeney, he said like we all know May Day is the real Labor Day, but I appreciate having two Labor Days, getting 2 days off. Like why are we gonna argue against that, right? So it's Labor Day. So I mean we're not rich, so we don't have to worry about not wearing white. But I just wanted to mention, if anyone is listening to this live, like I imagine when this is on YouTube, it's gonna be past. But up here in Kotzebue at 11 a.m., not p.m.
Yes.
Obviously, we're meeting outside the Nana building in a DOT shop, which is 100 3rd Street. We're doing a march there. We're marching from there down to 813 Wanda Street, the youth center next to the old rec center. Seems like I need to explain this to people whenever I talk
Yeah.
about this event.
Yeah.
And we're doing over the youth center. We're doing a rally. We're gonna have some speeches, and got here's part of my snap here. We got the buns. We got hot dogs. We got obviously hamburgers for those buns. We're not just gonna feed you bread, and I have ready some cookies. I will decorate them after this podcast, so they're not gonna look so plain Jane. But that's happening today. If you, I will update the Green Party's website for if anyone really needs it. It's there's no www dot. I'm so used to that. So it's just alaska-greens.org/Labor Day, all one word.
All one word.
All one word. And if you want more information, check it out there. And I imagine most people are gonna miss it. But if you run into this show and want to see what we did, I will post up onto the website about the event and some pictures. Hopefully, I do have an issue of like forgetting to take pictures, and today
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Or I'll ask someone to help me with that. But that's all happening. It's Labor Day. Let's celebrate the proletariat, the people who make this world happen.
Yes.
Workers made this world, and workers are gonna save this world.
There you go.
There we go. And it's time for our
It's time for us to, in
I
fact, not lie about what we feel about big butts.
I like big asses.
I
Like,
like them as well, and I cannot lie.
actually, that's a lie. I love big asses. It's
You know,
not like I was trying. I was being a little bit what's the word like I was just sort of dancing around the
yeah, start
issue. And
dancing
I was like,
around the
yeah, I
issue.
sort of like that. No, I love big
Yes.
asses.
We here at Trekking the Future are fans of, larger posteriors. And that's our theme song. I like Big Butts.
Yeah.
Baby Got Back is the actual name of it, sorry, by Sir Mix-a-Lot. The symphonic version, specifically.
I didn't know that when I was a kid for the longest time. Like, I think I had to learn what the name of the song was to buy it on
Yeah, because
iTunes. Back
it's a lot of people thought it was "I Like Big Butts" for a long time.
yeah,
No, it is in fact "Baby Got Back," and it was also the #1 song in the Billboard Top 100 the day I was born. That week, it
and
was the #1 song.
and I think it's still up on YouTube. I'm not sure. There was different variations of Moose Nugget Wrestling in my little backyard federation, and my cousin used that song for his entrance music.
There we go. So we're in good company here by using that song for this D&D action. I got
Yeah, we're
got my
doing
dice
D&D.
roller up.
Oh, that's what I forgot. It's my turn first.
There you go. I don't remember what happened last time. I know the time before last we did that simulation thing, and my cheesecake worked out pretty well there.
We
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just scrolling up here on my Chat GBT. Chat GBT is our. Oh, we had the evil robot trying to kill us.
Right, right. So
Yeah, so we're doing D&D. Chat GBT is the dungeon master.
yeah. We
Um,
use different dice rollers. I use dnddiceroller.com, and it feels like I either get a 20 or a 1 almost every time. So not sure if that's just random luck or if that's this site itself.
let's
But
see.
yeah,
Let me.
I've
All right.
gotten so things either go very well for me or very poorly.
All right. So we're doing D&D. Opening bridge scene. We're on the USS Calliope. I don't
Okay.
know if I'm saying that right. That's a Greek goddess, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not too like I just know Aphrodite because I played Hades. Otherwise, if I read that, I'd probably say it wrong. Like if they had her in Hades, it'd be easier to say the name. Stars Stars streak past on the main view screen. Then slow as the ship drops out of warp, the dying crimson star fills the screen. Its glow unnatural and scarred with dark mining scaffolds. The crew reacts to the unsettling sight. Ensign Venla, Vulcan, deadpan at the science station. Captain, the sensors indicate a gravitate anomaly consistent with a wormhole. It is fate. It is a signature within Federation records. Go see if it's a wormhole. Like that's the kind of wormhole. Cap, this could be it. Zap, straight back home. Think about it. No more ration snack packs. Captain Lucian, patience, darling. A shortcut in space is never free. Look at the star. It's not merely dying; it's being murdered. Our tactical
Hate,
officer who
hate to
doesn't
be
get a
that.
name. Yeah, confirm, confirm, Captain. Multiple orbital platforms around the sun. Weapon signatures match Arcadian warships. The drawing plasma directly from the star itself. Ensign Vela. Um, I'll do a girl voice. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if that's gendering these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Their activity has stabilized the star's corona. Predicted model suggests a premature collapse within a decade. Additionally, I detect warp-capable vessels bombarding Vanilla. Sorry, it's Roman numerals. Or a populated planet. Who does that? You need energy. You hit the replicator. It's like stealing gas by blowing up the whole station.
They should get W.
Captain Wormhole on one hand, atrocities on the other. Fate seems to intend on scripting us into someone else's war yet again. Communication officer nervously. Captain, I'm picking up Varinian transmission. It's weak, heavily jamming. Jam. Static breaks across the street. Desperate voice emerges. The Varinian. there's a so the Vernian, the alien species Federation vessel. If you hear this, they're killing our sun, killing us. Please help. All right, Cap. If we just fly into the wormhole and leave, they'll fry. I mean, I ain't exactly more compass here, but I can smell a bad deal. That didn't sound very New Yorker. Right. Choices, my dear crew. Here's me. A wormhole that may cause us to carry us closer to home, or crimson battlefield where innocence is bled for profit. To walk away is to be pragmatic. To intervene is to be Starfleet. All right. Let's see. So let's answer their call, and
Okay.
I will roll.
It's my roll.
Or no, no, I'm not gonna. Let's confront the evil Russians or whoever. How do I? All right, I got a 17.
Okay, that's pretty good.
All right, let's see. Let's confront the patrol, and so I got +3 for command, so a total score of 20. The Calliope glides closer to the wormhole's edge. Crimson light washing over the hull. Suddenly, sensors ping. An Arcanian patrol frigate decloaks, weapons hot. The screen flickers live, revealing a scarred Arcanian commander with a sneer carved into his rigid face. All right, here's the commander of that patrol. Federation vessel, you trespass in Arcanian sovereign space. The Crimson Sun is ours. It's our. Its fire is ours. Its people are ours. Turn away or boom. The bridge tenses. Tactical reports. Shields are rise. One wrong move can ignite a firefight. So I got a success. I step forward, radiant as ever. My dear commander, burning is so inelegant and so wasteful. Surely a warrior of your stature can see wisdom is allowing the Federation to observe this anomaly. After all, if this wormhole collapses while you are still gorging on the sun, your empire will lose far more than a handful of Berlinians. The Arcanian commander growls, pacing on his bridge, but Lucian's charisma cuts through. The patrol lowers its weapon slightly. The commander, you Federation captains all speak like poets very well. You may scan your wormhole, but interfere with our harvest, and you will sell cloak as a trophy. The channel cuts. The crew exhales. Tension breaks. Um, it's your turn to roll. We got some choices here. We could scam the wormhole. We could secretly reestablish contact with Verona 4. We could begin sabotage, planning against the solar mining rigs, or we could play for time, or you could do whatever.
I
You want to do
personally,
here?
personally, I like the sabotaging idea. We're gonna go with that, but make sure to note to Chat DPT or DM
Mhm.
that before doing the sabotaging, Josephus or whatever my name is, uh, he makes sure to give all the people on the crew some dubby energy to make sure that they are nice and energized for this here plan they're gonna try to execute. And also
Mhm.
make note to ChatGPT that W Energy is a sponsor of Gopher and Tuck. That's right, we got to
Did you
integrate
want
it
to
into the
roll?
game now. If we can afford Sir Mix-a-Lot, you know, I mean, we got to bring in money to be able to afford that song. So that's how we do it.
Did he roll something or?
Oh right, yeah, that's probably a thing I should do. Okay, D20, roll it. 12. I got 12 with
Well,
my yeah, 12.
Gopher rolls 12.
Do I have do I get a bonus or anything for that? Like I don't remember if there's any modifiers.
Uh, you, engineering +2. Um, Well, this is loading. You want tell us really quick, and on the other side of this, we'll continue.
Yeah.
Um, you want to tell the people that finally the full playthrough of Max Payne on the Game Boy
Sure.
Advance is up on
Yes.
YouTube.
So the full playthrough of Max Payne, all 10 episodes, they are up on YouTube, and we've continued on to finally, after a 4-year hiatus, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, continuing where we left off, except now we're playing the Nintendo Switch version instead of the GameCube version, because that's what led to us having to stop the series in the first place. Um, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle's still going. I do have a decent amount of stuff I want to talk about here. We'll wait until after this for that. But one thing I can also say before then, uh, Gopher and Tuck are all in. The vlog from Tuck's visit to Texas
Hell yeah.
2 months ago now. That went up finally about a week ago or so. So that's up, and coming up soon in 10 days on everyone's favorite day, TJ's birthday, September 11th. I believe the only thing of note to happen on that day is TJ was born, so that's cool. It's going to have another thing of note, however. Now, moving forward, when people think September 11th, not only will they associate it with TJ's birthday, they'll also associate it with the 5,000th video on Gopher and Tuck. Our 5,000 video special will be going up on September 11th, because that is a day of celebration with our friend TJ and his birthday.
Hell yeah, dude. And I think everyone likes to celebrate TJ's birthday. I mean, something always seems to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Never forget,
And
TJ was born, and Gopher and Tuck are about to hit 5,000 videos.
hell yeah, dude. And yeah, there's such a great backlog. Like you did back in 1995. You did Tetris, Shenmue 3.
Big old backlog, and I mean we're doing
5,000 videos.
at least 3 videos a day now at the moment. So
Yeah.
that next 5,000, it's gonna be on the way.
It's coming. And yeah, and you're on Twitch. So I mean, if anyone's joining us here on Twitch, obviously he's on Twitch. But if you're watching on the YouTube, he's also on Twitch. Are you still playing Elden Ring with Jeff? I've been on the loop.
We finally this past week I platinumed it. We got the platinum finally.
wow.
So we might go back to it every now and then, but I'm not sure because just to play it for
Well,
fun.
there could
But
be new deals. So,
yeah,
who knows?
they are actually adding a harder mode soon, so that'll be
Oh.
something to try. Yeah, we're doing that. There's also so I mentioned Paper Mario, Indiana Jones, my Donkey Kong Bonanza playthrough, the first official Gopher Sans Tuck series, which is the daily thing now. That's I'm actually probably going to be finishing that tomorrow, finishing recording it after our podcast episode tomorrow. Probably go ahead and finish that because I'm right at the end, right there. So I'm trying to that'll likely be getting done, finishing up on the channel here this month. I plan to do, I believe, I decided on Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, the remake. That'll be the next Gopher Sans Tuck series, which will probably take us right up to October, Spoopland, where this year will be having the first ever Gopher Sans Tuck Halloween special, where I will be playing a spoopy game without Tuck there to hold my hands. Also, of course, we have 2 series with Tuck. There's going to be Silent Hill F, which will be basically taking the place of Resident Evil this year because there's no new Resident Evil game, but there will be one next year. So, but that's my first time playing a Silent Hill game. I will be playing that. Tuck will be there, and then we also will be playing Little Nightmares 3 in co-op, since that's going to be the first game in the series to have co-op. But for Gopher Sans Tuck, I'll be playing my first ever Dead Space game. I've never played a Dead Space game before. I'm playing the one from a couple years ago. I think it's a remake of the first one, but I'm not sure. I'll be playing that with no Tuck there to hold my hands through the spoopiness.
Oh man, hell yeah, that's exciting. All right, check all that out. So really quick, let's continue this.
Let's get it.
Gopher rolled a 12, so the crew gathers in the Calliope strategy room. Empty W cans litter the table as Josephus bounces in place, jittery but enthusiastic. All right, we're wired, we're weird, and we're ready to stick a fork in those solar suckers. Here's the plan. We overload their plasma conducts so they backfire like a bad replicator burrito. I look unimpressed, but sips delicately from a W branded cup anyway. Darling, if your plan leaves me smelling like a singed eyeliner, I shall hold you personally responsible. It's ChatGPT, guys. Like I don't understand everything it does. Big success. He rolled a 14. Josephus does manage to map a sabotage approach, hacking into the rig's plasma replicators via encrypted subspace relays. However, a roll wasn't quite enough for perfect stealth, while the Arcanian rig's controllers detect something odd in the system. Not enough to pinpoint the Calliope, but enough to put patrols on high alert. All right, so we have a window of opportunity, but they're suspicious.
Mm,
So I decided to bluff the commander, and I rolled a 2.
mm.
Not good.
Not fantastic. Not the best roll.
Yeah, I needed a 17.
Mm,
So the bluff that backfired, Lucian steps elegantly into the center of the bridge, hand the chest like a maestro about to conduct a symphony. He signals for the patrol to channel open, his voice smooth as velvet. Commander, what have you detected was not sabotage, merely a natural hiccup of a wormhole expressing itself. Think of a cosmic indigestion. Very normal, very. The channel cuts mid sentence. Federation lies. Only your trickery can explain such anomalies. Prepare to be boarded. We'll cut the truth from your silver tongue.
mm.
And so the Arcanian patrol immediately powers weapons and close distance on the Calliope. 2 more Arcanian warships decloak in orbit of the murdered sun. The crew is now pinned, seals up, weapons locked, and I made another decision. Sort of
Okay.
breaking tradition here and going two
It's
times
cool.
in a
It's
row.
fine. There you go.
So I engaged in combat, and I rolled a 9. So still not good.
Mm,
So the Calliope banks hard, phasers firing, and brilliant arcs of orange light across the black void. For a moment, the crimson glow of the dying star paints the bridge in fire. Tactical officer directed on the shields. Minimal damage. The returning fire. The ship shudders and disruptors break across the Calliope's hull. Consoles spark, alarms scream, and Josephus trembles out of his chair, clutching the W can.
mm.
Josephus, Captain, we're getting fired on like calamari down here. Let me hotwire a detector just before they roast us. So, we'll do one more roll to finish this off. So we got some suggestions here. There's 1, desperate maneuver. 2, dive for cover. 3, call the for Newlands. Or 4, play the villain. What do you like to do? Or
Okay, so
whatever else you decide to do.
we're gonna do the desperate maneuver, but I want ChatGPT to know that I'm planning on utilizing the Dubby energy within that desperate maneuver. I don't know how. I'm gonna let them decide that, but we're gonna
Yeah.
utilize the Dubby. And my role here is unfortunately not swell. It's a 7. So Dubby, don't be upset with us if your usage in this show does not help the cause for our characters.
All right. So, yeah, it's gonna take a minute to load here.
Well, I got more Gopher and
Uh,
Tuck I can talk about.
well, I think I can start reading this, and
Okay.
there's so much to talk about. Like, like, like they could watch you play Make America Great Again.
That's there is an episode of that on the channel.
So, Dubby disaster. The bridge rattles under a disruptor blast as Josephus chugs the last of his Dubby energy, eyes wide and twitchy. He dives into the deflector controls, pulling wires and mutters, "Don't worry, Cap. I'm gonna turn this baby into the galaxy's biggest bug zapper." He slams his toolkit into the console, sparks fly, the detector hums, whines, and emits a pulse. So, failure with comic follow. The pulse discharges in the wrong direction, briefly illuminating the Calliope in a glowing pink aurora that makes the ship look like a cosmic disco ball. The Arcanians burst into laughter on the comms. Federation, your weapons shine like killer's toy. Pathetic! Instead of crippling the patrol's frigate, the maneuver drains 20% more power from the shields. The Calliope is now down to 20% shields. But the mishap has an unintended side effect. The Varanian resistance detects the pulse as a signal and begins mobilizing. Um,
Stuff happened.
yeah, typically, like we've been able to end before, like we had before we go into the Gopher and type
Yeah,
duel.
this is
But,
it's been a lengthy episode here of trekking the unknown. We could make it a
um,
two-parter.
Let's see.
Could come back to it
Let's,
tomorrow.
all right. Would you like to? Yeah. Would you like to just continue this
Yeah,
one?
it's gonna be a suspenseful ending one where we got a little cliffhanger leading us into tomorrow's episode.
We got a couple more minutes. Because I don't want to just fill this with dead air.
There is at least one more Gopher Tuck thing I wanted to bring up, which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. Bring it up.
I
While I
I
will.
don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast. I think I did. I think I mentioned it in the last episode, but Madden Mondays are now a thing
Yeah.
on the channel, and it's premiered. So it's me and TJ, kind of similar to our GM battle series. We both take control of a team. I got the Houston Texans, my boys. He's got the Pittsburgh Steelers. But then we did a fantasy draft, get all new teams, and we're playing the series. So the first episode is the draft itself, the fantasy draft. Second episode is the preseason. We don't watch any games during the preseason. Then the third episode, which goes up in a couple hours actually, is gonna be our week one of the regular season. For most of these episodes, when we're doing that, we will watch one game each, uh, the Texans game and the Steelers game, and what we're gonna do is commentate over them. We got commentary in the game turned off. We'll be watching the games, and and by we I mean Tony Pepperoni and Frank the Medicine Man, will be commentating during those games. So it's fun. We've recorded a few episodes, and I'm enjoying doing that. Yes, that's every Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time. TJ's gonna be there, and again, 2 episodes already up: the draft and the preseason. Today's episode will be week one, where you get to meet Tony Pepperoni and Frank the Medicine Man.
All right. So really quick, I did roll a die, but you know, it seems like we're gonna continue this storyline, which is a first for Trek Indiana,
Yeah,
as we said earlier.
got a
Typically, we
cliffhanger.
end before.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's find out if we could, uh, save the Vorians, stop the Ukrainians from being Nazis. We'll see though. We'll see. I mean,
See you
hopefully
tomorrow.
um we had some failures, even this before, but like typically something will end or we're successful and be over. But we're still going, and yeah, obviously this is stealing the plot of, if people watch the last season of Trek in the Future, um, and this is stealing the plot of the murdered son from the Voyager. Um, was it pocketbook? Yeah, the pocketbook. So I
Mm,
was about to say light novel. It's a pocketbook.
mm,
So I did steal the um the plot from past Star Trek, but it's a pocketbook, so you're not gonna see this in Voyager, the show,
mm.
or any
Yeah,
other series. But I thought it would be interesting to revisit that, and I
yeah.
I did enjoy that pocketbook, so that's why I went for this.
Mm,
Um, so uh, we're 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 not gonna be back. Well, I said we're not gonna be back Saturday. We will be back Saturday, but I'm just letting everyone know we're gonna be back tomorrow to
yes.
talk about the new episode. We're gonna be caught up tomorrow,
Yeah.
and of
See,
course, there's
you,
gonna
you
be a
got
new.
you got no episodes of Trek in the Future for a couple weeks there, but now you get 3 episodes in 1 week. So there you go.
Amazing.
Big
A
treats.
lot to look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you want to check out more of what Gopher's doing, like today, the NFL games are coming up, the Madden games.
Yep.
Let's see what Tony Pepperoni has to say about who their
Yes.
players are, and I think I'll check it out today, or maybe not, because I have to. I do have I get to get ready for
Yeah.
another podcast tomorrow, so
Mm,
I do have to get to watch Star Trek. We'll see. I wanted to finish yesterday the Mad Max, or Mad Max. The Max Payne series. So I'll figure out what Gopher and Tuck I check out today.
yes.
There's Indiana Jones. There's Donkey Kong Bonanza. There's a lot going up.
A
A lot to check
lot.
out.
And we got horror coming up in a month, so that'll be a fun time.
And all the episodes of Trek in the Future are all on YouTube.
And
Check
GM
us out, and we'll
Battle,
be back.
and there you go.
GM Battle, yeah, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same Star Trek place. Guys, live long and prosper, and have a good rest of your day. See you
See ya.
tomorrow.